Right, so we're live. I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes just to see if anyone else comes in. How's the music? You can hear it. Yeah, just gonna see if anybody comes because I am starting at 1, so I'm just 10 minutes early. Yeah. Let me just quickly update something. There you go. Baby Ollie on board in the corner, because you might hear him in the background. So every time he's in the room, I'm gonna stick that little thingy there. So just gonna wait, see if anyone comes in. Let me know who's actually here. So right, today's going to be a fun stream for me. Hopefully fun for you to watch, whoever's watching. I'm just going to fix up this landscape, take out the details I don't like these mountains, and this detail here. I'm going to replicate something like this, like a sort of a canyon rather than a mountain. So that way I can call the landscape finished because it's crunch time now. I'm going to have to start working on the settlement itself. So today is the day I'm going to call this part of the development done. Whether I'm finished or not, anything after this will have to come towards the end in the spare time. So I'm going to get as much done as possible. But I'm going to remove these details and fix the landscape to the way I like it. And then I'm going to simplify the shader material complexity of this landscape just to optimize the performance a little bit. Because I am learning as I'm going, there are some things I know how to do definitively, but texturing the landscape, there's loads of different approaches, and ultimately the approach I've taken works, but it isn't as efficient as it could be. So I'll just quickly explain. You can't really see too well, but you can see some variation in texture. This landscape has 4 different variations of mud just to break up the repetitiveness of the material. These are on 4 separate material layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce that down to 3, and then I'm going to blend all of my different variations together using masks, and I'm going to do it all under one material rather than 4 separate materials, and this should make it a little bit less complex than it already is. So instead of blending 4 materials together separately, it's all done through one material using 3 different texture maps. So it should be a lot more efficient and save me a little bit on the frame rate. And it's just an easier way to manage rather than having to constantly go through 4 different materials. So now I have a better understanding of how to use masks. I'll create my own using the individual RGB values. I'll store 3 different masks, and then that way from one texture sample I can sample 3 different masks basically. So I'm reducing the texture sample count, and there's just a lot less how to put this, it uses up a lot less resources, so the material itself will be a lot less complex, and it will just be easier for the computer to manage. So the reason I'm doing this and I'm focusing so much on optimization is because that's one of the main points. All of my landscapes usually are to a high quality without considering too much how it would run. And if I'm looking to get into the games industry, optimization is a key point. So that's why I'm focusing on it, and trying my best to demonstrate that obviously I can optimize my levels in all different areas. So that's the plan for today. We're coming on 1 o'clock, so I might just start. I might as well. It's only 3 minutes off. So I'm just going to start in World Creator, and I'm just going to remove these details quickly that I don't like, and then I'm going to fix up all my heat maps. I'm just going to reduce it from 4 heat maps for the grass to 1 heat map. So yeah, so let's get started on that now. Let's get this. I've got everything open and set up. So this is my project in World Creator. It's a 2K landscape downscaled to a 1K, again just for the optimization. So you can see 2017, but I'm running the precision at 2 meters, which is downscaling it to 1009, and this is what I'll render the height map as well. So for now, I'm just going to flatten out these details and just recreate them. So I'm just gonna, just gonna figure out quickly, because I've not been in this project for a while, so I'm just gonna figure out what these layers are doing. So I'm gonna need that. I'm not gonna delete that one. So let's just edit this shape quickly. This should be a quick and simple process. It shouldn't take too long. So just going to flatten this out. The baby's teething at the moment, so he's been a bit of a grump the past few days, so I apologise for any crying in the background. I've switched microphones, so this one should cut most of it out. But yeah, the poor thing's been teething quite badly the past few days. So we'll just go ahead and flatten out these details. And again, this should help as well. I didn't solely do this for the optimization. I just did it because I didn't like it, how it looked aesthetically. But this will, it's just rendering less complex geometry, so it should help free up some resources as well. So it's a win-win. So that's that one done. So happy with that. And same thing here, just going to flatten this one out also. That'll do. Now let's go into my areas and I'll fix up these. So I can, I'm just going to erase that for now, remove that so I can get the base shape. So edit blend map, strength max, and we'll go for a big hard brush. I'm not too concerned about any sort of blending. So this red area just tells World Creator where to apply the filters. So anything in red, it will apply the filters onto the landscape, just in them specific areas. So all of these filters. So this one I've got set to mountain area, which is where I've painted. So that's where this filter will affect, and nowhere else. So it's just a good way of controlling and adding detail to specific areas. So we'll just get rid of these for now. We don't want them to interfere with the base shape. So that's just make sure I've cleared it. That's good for now. And then again, just flatten out these. I'll just flatten this bit as well. So I'm going for something like this. So I'm just going to find out what layer I'm using for that. So cut off area I'm using. So it's not that one. So cut off. So it's just the cut off. So that's what I'll use around here then. Okay. So right, that's good. Grass area. I can just fill that in there. So that's the same thing, just applied to a texture. So wherever I erase, it'll just take away the grass. See, I like sessions like this. This is where the creative juices start flowing, and this is where it gets a little bit technical. I really enjoy this. When you're doing stuff like generating LODs and one by one for every grass, inputting values, it gets a bit repetitive. That's where it gets a bit tough, a bit boring, that part. It's got to be done. But these are the parts I enjoy the most. So we'll try maybe 50 or 60. Now because the resolution's quite low, I'm limited on control points. I could increase this, but it'll affect the performance of the World Creator application, so I'm going to work with this for now, but that's the only downside. Plus if I increase them now, it'll affect the landscape's geometry, so the higher the resolution, the more control over the fine details, but it doesn't matter. We can achieve a nice look just playing around here. So I'm thinking I'm going to toy with the idea of maybe creating some sort of detail, like some curvature around here, and I want it to fall back and maybe come out here. So from this angle, this is where the settlement's going to be. You've got some interest, visual interest around here, some nice cool canyons, some nice detail to look at, and it just makes the environment a lot more, you know, enjoyable to look at, really. I like to add little detailed points in my landscapes that just catch your eye and catch your attention. I just feel like it really just adds to it. So that's what I'm thinking. So we'll give that a shot. No, so. Oops, that's not the value I want, so Control Z that. Yeah, this is the one. Try 100. Now the fall off is just the smoothness, so as you can see, it's giving me a smooth hill. So if I decrease the fall off, it just makes the hardness. It's just the hardness of the brush. That's all the fall off is. It's just the hardness. So I'll just keep it around 0.5. That way I can control this maybe a little bit more, try an 80. That works. So I'm just gonna now, in my cutoff area, I'm just gonna thinking. I'm just going to create the shape first, actually, and then we'll play with them values. So let's just see how high I've got this. So this is a good way of determining size. So let's just match them colours. So it's in the yellow. It's about up there in the green. It was about 50 meters high, just so I can sort of replicate that on this side. It's a cool little tooltip that with this new version of World Creator. So I'll keep that on for now. So we're looking to keep it in this very light green. So let's just start sculpting a little bit more. So that works. So that's a nice curvature there. And then I'll pull it around this side a bit, kind of work around this edge. There you go. And then possibly we'll curl it back round here, like so. So that's quite nice. That's sort of what I'm after. That should look really nice from this angle. So let's just disable this this visualizer, just so we can see. Could raise the terrain just a little bit more here. Right, so that works. Let's now go into the cutoff area and just paint a little bit. Now if it doesn't have an effect, I'm not too worried. That just means I could increase the height of this. So the one thing I do like about World Creator is the controls are exactly the same as Unreal Engines, so navigating around your scene is just easy. Whereas Speed Tree, they're all different. So you're trying to navigate thinking you're in Unreal Engine and you just mess everything up. So that's not affected it. So it's no big deal. Under a single control point where I'm just grabbing single controls, I'll just increase the height until I start seeing the cutoff, as you can see. That works. So this is already shaping up quite nice. Oh, sorry, did I turn the music down? Turn it down a little bit more just to make sure you can hear me. The learning curve for this software was quite shallow. I didn't struggle too much. It's quite an easy piece of software to use. Everything's quite straightforward, so I've been really enjoying this, getting to know this software. So that works for me. We'll just play around now with painting some more of the cutoff area. So that'll do. There you go. It's okay. I don't like this, so I'm gonna play with it. We'll play around with that. I don't know why it's decided to do that. So I don't like that. So we're just going to go and flatten this out. I'm just going to try not to spend too long on this. So we'll just get this done quickly. So let's just delete this cutoff blend map here. That's good enough. So okay, edit shape. Add this down to about 80. I'm going to approach this differently. So actually what I am going to do is, actually no, I'll stick to the way I did it that way. So actually going to work this round here a little bit more and then pull it round this way a little bit. Maybe starting here like this. And then maybe about here as well. Which narrows up this gap so it blocks off some of this open space. And then we could even just release that a little bit and then maybe try and drop that down a bit more. And then we can work this in a little bit more just to create a bit more of an interesting shape. I like having this sort of alcove. I feel like that would look quite nice. So that'll do for now as a base shape. Whoa. I do not want a 16K landscape. What the flip? So let's paint on some more. So that works quite well. I'm happy with that. I'll just play around here. So I turn my brightness up on my monitor. Oh, that's much better. Turn them lights. Right. Edit shape. We'll play with the... Let's not play with that. We'll stick to just using this. I'm not quite sure why it keeps doing this. It's really annoying. Like, I'm pulling it up, not down. So what I'd usually do here is just use the average. Right, let's just turn this off here so I can see what's happening. I don't know why that's decided to do that. Why is it going down? I'm not moving it down, I'm moving it up. That's better. So from over here, that's looking quite nice. That's looking really nice. I'm really happy with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend this now, maybe around here a little bit. That works quite well. Remember, from the ground view, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So I'm going to pull this round. Could even drop that a bit, just loosen that. So I'm just working in some extra detail at this point. Flatten this area a little bit. Hopefully this isn't interfering with the stream, because this is quite a CPU intensive software. No, sorry, it's GPU, so it shouldn't affect it too much. But I'm liking this. Now I keep referring to this perspective here because this is where the player is going to be stood. So I just need to know if any of these details are going to be seen visually from that point there. So I can already see that. Whoops. Nope. I can already see that this is obstructing the view of this. So I'm just gonna, with a quite a high radius brush, just loosely flatten everything out. Just to kind of reveal some of that detail. That's really nice. And then over here, I'm going to create some hills just to kind of cover up the edge of the map. So, because this way from Unreal Engine, I'm thinking about how it's going to be viewed from Engine. So I need to make sure that I'm creating the illusion of an endless environment. Just by covering up any sort of horizon. So for example, if the player stood here looking down, this might just about cover the edge of the map. I'll raise it a little bit just to create a bit more of a hill, and from that perspective there, it looks like it just goes on and on and on. So that's just what I'm sort of processing through my head at this point whilst making these decisions. So I'm always thinking about what the player is going to see. So something like this might just be perfect. Maybe play with that a little bit more. Just increase. A little bit here as well, and a little bit here, like that. Done editing. That's quite nice. I really like that there. That's really nice. That a bit obstructed by this hill, so I'm just going to flatten these down a little bit. So let's just get the radius high again, flatten, like so. Just create a bit more of a softer gradient, like you can see here. Making little micro changes, so if it's not being picked up on camera, I am actually changes are being made, just so incrementally small increments, that you probably just don't notice them. But I'll just increase the gradient between this a little bit more, just soften it out like so. And I'll be happy. That should be okay now. Blend these two sort of hillsides together by just playing around here. Maybe I could just increase it a little bit around here. Let's have a look. That works well. That's really nice. I'm really happy with that. So it looks good for now. The real test is when we get in Engine, how well this is going to look. So, right, coolio. Done with that. That's one step down almost. Just remember, I need to paint these cutoff areas. So I'll get paint in these. Maybe just soften the edge around it a little bit. Increase the size. That's a bit better. There we go. That works. A little bit more here. And then not to forget here as well. So, there you go. Let's apply this back. Really nice. Really happy. At this point now, same thing. I am using, oops, that doesn't look good. That's a bit better. Yeah, happy. So this texture is applied using no. Thank you. Yeah, Baba's having a bit of a hard time with his teeth, so yeah, I do apologise. My computer is in the bedroom, which obviously he relaxes in, so I apologise for the background noise. But don't get mad at him, he's got sore teeth. But yeah, no, I'm glad he's asleep now, that's great. So, right, I'm happy with this. I lost my train of thought then. But thank you for the update, even though you're right behind me. Okay. Make me laugh. So we're just going to go into just removing some of this grass detail from this cliff. So I'll be a bit soft with this. That should work. That won't work. Try 35. That's perfect. So what you can do is if you really just want to, hide that, even so it's still active. So that is paint. Sorry. So yeah, it's still active and it's still doing its thing. It's just visually, you're just removing it from the viewport. So sorry, I'm painting. Whoops. So there you go. Just going to constantly just reference the viewpoint from the engine, just so I know where I need to paint and where I don't. So definitely alongside this mountain here. Do. I'll just play around with this with some random rotation, just to get a bit of an effect going here. I'll play with that here as well. Might as well just have done this in the first place. So just painting out just where I want the rock to be visible. So we'll go around here, which is nice. That's cool. And then just a standard brush now, just to remove some extra little bits it was possibly missed. So that's good. Back here I'm not too concerned. It's not you're not going to be too close up, so I could just roughly just play around, just remove what I don't want to see. So that I'm happy with. Fix that in a blend map. It's better. And then mountain area, we're just going to paint. Keep this quite soft. Do a value of maybe 0.7. And then we're just going to paint. Whoops. I see. So the issue here in my filters, I just want to remove that, and I just want to work with the erosion. So let's just see how this looks applied to the entire landscape. So I'll just disable it from there. And then for now, I'll just add a layer. Add a filter. Let's come under advanced erosion. So something like that looks quite nice. A bit of interference now with the cutoff area, but I can work with that. This will generate quite a nice normal map, so increase the amount, because I do want some sharp bridging. And then we can smooth erosion smoothness, that's better. Affecting the world a bit too much, so that's quite a funky look. I don't actually mind that, it's quite nice. Let's see what we can do with this. So we don't want it strength. Let's just fix some of the problem areas before we do this. So let's just, we want to just paint a little bit more here. So this is causing a bit of a problem, this line. Grass area, paint some of that back in. Now let's have a look now at what this is doing. So gap size, we can just leave terrace size. Minecraft, nice. That's really nice. I love that effect. sort of not what I'm going for though. So but it's cool. Let's have a look at the canyon. So I'm just going to stick to the erosion because I like this. That's quite a cool effect, but geez, there's a lot of properties to play around with. So let's just figure out. So yes, we will, because I do want to do something here, just with the detailing on the side of the rock. So I'll play around with some of the filters because it does look a bit too plain for me. I do like this erosion, so I'm going to work with it and get this to work because this is sort of the effect I'm after. I like the look of these ridges, so so for now that works quite well. Just play around now with fixing some of this detail. So we'll start over here. So we'll just add and close. So just so we know what that one is there, I'm not too fussed that that's applied over the landscape because it's not having an effect on the hill details. So I don't need to create a blend map for that. So only when, for example, you want the smooth hills, that would interfere with them. So at that point, I'd just mask the hills out so it only affects the surrounding canyons. Okay, so fix these. Should be a quick and easy job. Just in here. Play with the single points. Just make sure. I think what I'm going to do is just edit this. So now this works fine. Paint a little bit more on the back. Yeah, that'll do. average. This is just a good way to sort of flatten them out a little bit more. Wow. That's sort of working there, so that's good. It doesn't like that. There's something there. So I'll just leave that for now. That's okay, that works. I don't mind this is quite irregular. That sort of looks quite nice. Having it completely flat obviously isn't going to look too realistic, so let's just play with this. Try and just get a bit more of a shape going. So that works for me. That works quite well. I'm not too fussed about the way the grass is growing. It looks quite nice. So I'm going to leave that at that. Not get too carried away. So I'm going to take this. Oh no, actually, sorry. Let's just fix these heat maps. And actually, I'm just going to remove most of them. So if I can just duplicate this, just so I've got a backup. No. Remove. Yes. I will just save this as a separate file. So save as folder. Let's just find. Now whatever changes I make to this, if I do something drastic and I can't undo it or something happens, I've got a backup now. So let's just work backwards, removing these, this, and this. And same with the shore. I'm just going to simplify it. Remove, whoops. So happy with that. And then the rock, I'll just leave as is. I will. Don't need that anymore. So these are the mossy bits of rock. That's a 1 brightness. That's a 1. Crank that up just to see what it's doing. Now this I do want to tighten. So I'll do 2 steps. So this is just sort of like I'm using this sort of like as artificial highlights just to accentuate some of the details in the ridges, because you lose some of this because you're looking at a landscape with more geometry in it than what you're going to get in Unreal Engine. So the amount of polygons in my landscape, the total resolution will be a little bit lower, so a lot of this detail you'll lose out of the geometry, which is why I rely on the normal map to sort of bake it back in, but then creating this fake shadow and highlight as well as a texture also just helps just show off and retain some of the detail. So it's a good and cheap way of just faking the ridge details. So I'm happy with that. It doesn't matter what color these textures are. So for now I'll do a 1.34 just so I can see. It looks like snow, but it doesn't matter. So I'm happy with that, really happy. I'm just gonna paint out some of this grass here, just to reveal some more of them rocks. And I'll use the same technique of using this brush. Drop it down maybe to about 20 with the angle on. And I'll just work this around here. And that's painting. Maybe even smaller. So that's quite nice. Same thing now, just to make sure enough of it's removed from the actual face. So try not to disturb the baby, so I'm talking a little bit quiet, I do apologise. Let's just make sure I'm keeping all this mounting on show. Happy with that. Same here, really not happy with the way these are blending, so I'm going to paint some more of this grass back, just a little bit up the mountain, like so. That looks better. I'll erase it around the ridges. I don't like that, so I'll just paint that back in. Now, just to add a bit of a blend, I'm just going to soften the hardness and just go around here like that. So just blends that in a little bit more. That's good. That works well. Looks nice. Oh, actually, sorry, I'll do the opposite. And I'll just paint a little bit back in, just to sort of sharpen up that there, like so. That's better. Same here. And this as well. So I'll go max, and I'm just going to paint out some extra. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. It's just you do it to your own taste. We all have our own style of our own art styles. So I'm just painting out this in places I think look rubbish. So too concerned because of the distance the player is going to be from these mountains. So I'm just thinking about it from what you're going to see from a distance rather than up close. So I need to do the opposite, just paint some of that out. Same here. That works well. I'm not going to focus over there or over here, but that's nice. I'm really happy. Same with the shoreline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own custom brush and hopefully import it here. So let's just open up Photoshop. Because I've noticed with Unreal Engine, within Unreal Engine, this cutoff is too soft. So I'm going to try and harshen it up a little bit by creating a brush. So what I'll do for the brush, doesn't matter, I'll just do a 2048. Trying to remember how to create, how to do my alphas. I always forget what order the black and white should be, but I've just remembered, so. That's not what I'm after. Let's try this. Nope. What I'll do is on a separate layer, I'll just create a really random shape. And I'll create my own custom brush out of this shape here. So let's figure out how to do this now. We'll do edit, define brush, and we'll just call this custom one. My fault there. Edit, define brush, could not complete selected area. Do I have to select it? I'm not just sure what it's saying there, so let's just try and delete that. Ah, sorry, my fault. So edit. I don't get why it's doing that. Okay, doesn't matter, just save this, use that as my alpha. Just on here will do. right, wrong one, sorry. So edit, I want to erase some of this detail, so I'm hoping that should look a bit better. So that should do for now. So that's all my heat maps sorted. So under textures, I'll have 3 for the rock, 1 for the grass, 1 for the shore, and none for the snow. So that's better for me. So for now, let's export the height map under Unreal. Scale 14, flip Y, 16-bit. All my settings are perfect. So we'll just overwrite this one. That's done. And then I want a normal map, PNG, flip Y. For this, I'll increase this to half. So I can export a 4K normal map. So that's processed. Let's go ahead and export this, PNG, flip Y. So this is going to be applied over the entire landscape. So yep. But you can see how just by increasing that you get so much more detail out of the landscape, which is good for the normal map. So let's drop this back down to 2 because the heat maps have to match the resolution of the landscape height map. So under heat maps we want to do textures. So I'm going to have 3 rocks and then 2. PNG, we'll do a flip Y and a heat map 1K, so we'll replace them. I'm just going to clear these first so I'm not getting confused. Happy, and then straight in here. So that is done. We can save this. And then let's get optimizing this landscape before we apply any of the changes. So the first thing I've been going to do is remove the tessellation. So I've been experimenting with using displaced maps. I thought it might be a cool idea to get some detail out of the rocks, as you can see, physical detail. I've done the same around the landscape. It's been optimized. As you can see, it's not affecting performance at all. The way it's been set up, it's tessellating the landscape based off the camera's position in comparison to the world position. So I've managed to create a blended mask in between both of them, using both of them. That you can control the values as well between the mask and the camera position. As you can see, I've set it to about 3000. Just open, and what it's doing is it's only applying the tessellation within this mask. So wherever the mask cuts off, the tessellation cuts off to its original geometry. So instead of tessellating the whole landscape, you just tessellating from a certain view distance, which you can control, and it's just a really cool way of being able to use displacement maps and tessellation, but without obviously hitting the computer's performance, because you can see how many polys are now within this radius. Imagine that applied on the whole landscape, you're going to have issues. But this is completely controllable, so I can increase the tessellation distance. So 2500, I can increase the tessellation amount, so I can not tessellate it. I can do it by 2, I can do it by 1, same with the background, so I could do a 1 or a 0, and the offset just messes around with the actual tessellation itself, so it's offsetting the vertices and polygons. Don't want to mess with that, so we're going to remove this, and we're also going to remove some of the textures, and we're just going to simplify this a lot more. So this is how the tessellations run. I've created a custom material function that I've built up myself. It shows up like this, but if I open it, this is just a simple function. So you'd go into materials and textures and create a function. You input all of your information here, so all of my tessellation information into output tessellation. So I've done this by just creating a function output, naming that tessellation. Same here with world displacement. So that's how I've got these two outputs. I've just created them, and for the input, you just create your own input by typing input, and you just specify what sort of input this is. So because that's a texture map, I've done a vector 3, but if it was just a scalar, or if it was a parameter, just a single number, you could do a scalar. You just work from there. So that's how I've created this, and then I've got them saved. Have I ever saved them? Here you go, materials, functions. I've got them saved here. So you just drag that in, and there's the function you've just created. So it's just a good way of cleaning up your material space. Exact same thing with the landscape blend map. So if you would have saw in a previous stream, all of this was just placed at the bottom here. So what I've done is I've just plunked it into my own custom function, added an input vector 3 because I'll be using a normal map, which is a vector 3, and then just plugged it into an output. And so yeah, and it just drag that in, and there's your custom nodes. That's how you create them. So I'm not going to go over. Sorry, it's a bit temperamental. This too much over what this is doing, because we're not using tessellation. So I'm just going to deactivate it. I'm going to delete this and this because we're only using one, and this. And we had 4, so you can already see the issue. That looks like it's a lot more manageable. So delete, 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 and the last 3. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. The good thing about creating these functions, this just works in the exact same way they work. You just add in your own input, that's all. So all of these values are controlled through this master, the same way all of the values are controlled from these within this one master, which is very good. So I'm just going to re-import this quickly. Master, and then just re-import that. I might have to flip the Y again. Oh, there you go, that's done. So I don't need to mess with this. I can just not save that one. Don't need to save that one. That's already saved. So I'm happy with that. Now let's just go ahead and reapply this here. Shift 3, is it? No, it's Shift 2 for the landscape options. And then just under paint, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. And for some reason they're still there. I did delete them, didn't I? So you've got grass 1. So that might just need a refresh. So that's okay. So that works for now. So Shift 1. Sorry, let's go back into this. I need to be under here. So import. I'm going to find my height map that I've just generated. We're going to plug that in. So it was height map, just height map, that's the one. Make sure we match the Z value to the new Z value generated here. So back under height map, Z value 14.58. So that will give you the true height scale. So what you're seeing here, you'll see in Unreal Engine. So it's nice it gives you that value. Otherwise, this sort of stuff happens. So 14.58. Plug that there. 14.58. Really? I don't think that's the correct value, thank you. Right, here's the issue. Now, because it's a 2K landscape 2017, I've ran into this before, I understand what's wrong here. That's the Z value for a 2K landscape. Now, because we're rendering it out in a 1K, you need to half this. So 14.58 divided by 2. So this is the true Z value. So just bear that in mind, as you can see. So it doesn't look great. That's to be expected. At the end of the day, this is the first pass. So let's just re-import these. So I'm going to import 1K, grass 1. Okay. Import rock 1. Okay. Import rock 2. Import rock 3. And then import shore 1. And that will just fix all of them issues. So I'm just thinking about why this is happening here. So for now, just quickly, just to get a good idea, just so I can see the geometry uninterrupted by the normal map, let's just go ahead and disable that. So under landscape, normal flatness, just do 1. So that's just going to disable that normal map for now, so we can see what we're working with. Now the geometry isn't great, does not look good at all. Just have a look in here. I can see the reason why. As you can see, it's not great in here either. So this is 1009. I'm going to try and add a filter over the entire landscape. To sort of correct this. Just a simple smooth. So Or better yet, I'll apply that for now. Yeah, so I'll work with this. I'll just smooth it a little bit, like that. 13, so let's just export this. 54. .77. Shift 2. Sculpt height map, re-import. So it's not done much. This is okay. I'm not really too worried about this at all, because at the end of the day, we are downscaling from 2K to 1K. So this is going to create some issues. If you would have just done it in a native 1K, I don't think you'd run into this. But the simple fix is just going to smooth. I've got this already set up, haven't I? So I'll undo that. Let's just do a 0.15. Don't want it to be too drastic. Try 0.1. That'll do. So brush fall off, we'll increase that, and the size, we'll increase this, and we'll just go around and smooth it. That'll work. Remember, the normal map is we're going to use the normal map to sort of generate these details back, so you'll see in a second. So for now I'm happy with that. That works. It's smoothed. It looks much nicer. We'll reapply the normal map. 0. And there you go. Got a lot of that detail back. Play with this value a little bit. Maybe a 0.5. Just half the value will do. That's quite nice. So let's figure out this issue. So first things first, go on landscape, surfaces, grass, grass. Get rid of the displacement values outside of this. So that's done. I'm happy with all of this. So good. Right, save that. Now undo the master. So we've only got them 3. Now shore 1 has got height information, so we'll take that out. And it's the same thing, because I'm working with functions, in order to get that extra output underneath the material, I just right click, function output, and you just input whatever information you want to output. So that's all I'm doing there. Same thing, you could just probably copy and paste that and literally just rename that. So there's no information, so I'm happy with that one also. So let's just save that. So 1, 2, 3, so that's good. There's only 3 layers there, so just save that. Hopefully this hasn't froze the stream. Like I say, this sort of work's quite CPU intensive. So, and running all this off one machine, I'm surprised there's no smoke coming out the back. But hey, that's why you invest in a good computer. Okay, so it's released me. Oh no, it's not. Still frozen. Is it? Yeah. It'll catch up. 2000 shaders, and I'm trying to save, and I'm streaming, and I've got World Creator. Oh, yeah. Just waiting for it to catch up. No, Unreal is just frozen. It won't crash. It's done this before. You have an update every single day. Sick of updating Photoshop. Nothing changes. Yeah, see that 94? It's Unreal will be taking all of that. So but my temperatures are holding up. I've been having an issue with these because every time I go to apply thermal paste, because I've replaced the one that came with the water cooler to something I could do a bit more. I kept putting my finger in it and smudging it, so two times I've done it, and I've got a bad application. So the temps ain't as good as they should be, but that's my fault. But right, that's done now. Yeah, it might hiccup. You can see OBS is just struggling a little bit. So I'm hoping now, sorry, Shift 2, come on. I don't know why these is still showing up. So what I'm going to do, landscape, master, plug that on. Oh, please don't compile. It's going to compile. Mother of... No, I'm joking. There you go. There you go. And all to what? Just to flipping swap them around. Right, paint. They're still there. Why are they still there? There's no information. We're not... Clear layer. Clear layer. Clear layer. Okay, I see why. So it's getting the information from in my maps. So I don't need. Yeah, I'm not interested in them. So fingers crossed. If I just refresh that again, it shouldn't compile. Nope, still not disappeared. I don't understand why. Where's it getting that information from? Not in there. There's nothing in here supplying it. Why? Why? I really do not understand where they're coming from. They've gone out of here. So you can see grass, there's only one grass. So maybe I just need to, let's try fix up directories. Save all maybe. Hey Minecraft. So shift, let's go back to that material, master, because I need to get cracking on with texturing this now and sorting that out. I can't get too caught up on silly little things. I'll fix it later. So they're still there. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's not affecting this. This looks good. Shift 2. Let me just make sure that was applied correctly. Yeah. That's because I've re-imported. So import rock 1. Import 2. Import 3. And then shore import. Yeah, that's the one. That's much better. Where's my water gone? I see. So it's obviously messed with the height of the landscape. So we'll just plumb this back down. So they're visible, and I can already see that these hills are obstructing a view of them, so that's not very good. So what I'm thinking is, I'm actually just thinking to turn that off. Raise that up a little bit. Let's have a look. So it's not that one. I can don't need that. So maybe for the cutoff, let's just just try one thing. Just see what that does. So that's much better. There you go. So right now I'm just going to flatten out. I just want to show this off a little bit more. Maybe sculpt in a few more at the back. No. Too much time. Details that can be done later. So let's just flatten radius up a bit more. Turn that up a little bit more. So that's given us a much nicer result. I could actually go around using this now, around here. Flatten. A little bit around here. So that's quite nice. So. Just creating a few more little hill details so it's not, it's quite nice. Export height map. .43 divided by 2. 7215. Just copy that. Okay. Sculpt, re-import straight off the bat. And then import the value. There you go. Much better. Absolutely. Really nice. Really nice. Really happy with that. So I've just rotated that by 0.2, by 0.02, just so it slopes a little bit, so I can raise it higher. And because of its slope now, it's not going to start filling up the world here. So I'm happy with that. Reapply the smooth, and then that should be good to go. Reapply all of the heat maps. But I can tell you straight off the bat, from just panning around the camera, this feels so much better, so much more responsive. So I think I've made the right call, and it was definitely worth spending my time doing that. So I'm not sure, I don't need to regenerate them, so just re-import. Re-import. Shift 2. Smooth out that a bit. Maybe do a little bit on the shoreline. Get rid of some of these ridges. That should do. Same around here. Let's happy with that. So yeah, right, optimizing the texture, sorry. That part's finished now, so I'm really happy with that. Next step is start optimizing. So the grass is done, rock's done. One change I need to make is just remove the distance blend from the rocks. So it'll be under my surfaces, rock 1, 2 and 3, sorry. I've done them on all 3. So it's going to be have fun compiling. So I don't need this. Don't need this. I don't mind keeping that because that's not so. That's in there. So that's A and B lerping with the distance. Okay. So then. Good thing is now, I can get rid of second. Sorry, 1 sec, I'll be back in 1 minute. Sorry, I do apologise, just a delivery at the door. So yeah, so we're just stripping down these textures now, simplifying them, because it's very easy to get caught up using these techniques, and then when you really understand and look at the bigger picture, you know, what effect is this technique having, and do you notice it? Is it worth the performance impact it could possibly be having? Having that distance blend between the mountains, no, it is not worth the potential performance impact of such a small and probably unnoticeable effect. I thought the same with the grass. The grass, the variation, I'm going to keep, so that material will be a little bit heavier, but that I'm happy in doing that because it'll have you'll have an effect you'll notice, a beneficial effect of removing the tiling and breaking up the repeating patterns. But details like this distance blend is not needed. The effect, you know, it doesn't outweigh the performance hit. So for now, you can already see 500, whereas before it'd be like 1,000 shaders. So same thing, we're just doing the same thing. We don't need the blend. So we're just removing the secondary, removing this. This for me is a learning point. Now picking and choosing the effects kind of went a little bit out the window. I'll admit I was trying to use all the effects. So that for me is a learning point of something to avoid. Which, you know, I am a student. I don't, you know, it's about learning. So so I'm happy with that. It's very simple. Still got the parallax, which I'm willing to keep, because that it's just a fake displacement, if you will. I need the brightness, so multiply the texture, which is good. Get rid of them, that. Come on, it's just catching up, sorry. Because this texture is already tiled to such a large amount, it still retains its detail in the even in the distance. Plus the normal map and the shading helps a lot. So roughness, normal, and ambient occlusion. Distance tile, don't need. So that I'm very happy with. Just make sure these are all set to share wrap. Good. So save that one. Job done. And then we'll get onto texturing the grass using different masks. Okay. To achieve that same sort of look. So instead of blending between them with heat maps using 4 different textures, I'm going to do it an even easier way. Even better way. So there's a lot of reflection on this. Wow. What's happened here? I see. Never mind. That's good. Good. So that's just my grass one. Which means I can change the values in here just to remove some of the roughness. Just quickly, so grass 1 under grass. So tile, I'll just turn the specular off for now. So grass 1. Global spec. I've got base tile, my rotation, and a mask for the rotation. So that makes sense. So there's nothing in here. Even so, I'm going to remove this. Texture. Just because the effect, there's going to be a lot of foliage placed covering up most of the tiling. So again, I'm not benefiting from this. So this is just extra information and not needed in this material. So we're just going to fix that. I'm going to keep that just for now because I'll be potentially reusing that. So let's just clean this up a little bit quickly. That there for the roughness, for the normal. And then we can plug that a ambient occlusion. So cool. So RGB. So what I'm going to do, we're going to create that mask texture. So we're going to do that in Photoshop by creating an alpha, which is just a black and white, and that's just going to tell Unreal Engine where to obviously apply the texture and where not to. But we're gonna do 3 different masks and place them individually in the RGB under the RGB properties. So we've got 3 different masks in one texture sample. So the quickest way to do it, I find, is within using the cloud generator in the, where is it? Sorry, filters. Others, is it? It's in here somewhere. We'll just go through them. Render, clouds. So we get this sort of effect. So shift new, same thing. We're going to do 3 different ones. Shift new. Filter, clouds. So we'll call this mask 3 because that's at the bottom. Mask 2. And mask 1. So them are 3 masks. How to input these in the separate RGB channels is you just double click and under the general properties you just untick. So that is now in red, the red value. You can color this red. It just helps a visual indication of what channel it's under. So that's under green. And then this one is going to be under blue. So there's 3 different textures under one sample. So that helps reducing the amount of samples being used, which helps in the performance because you're only rendering one sample, which is housing 3 different textures. So the way you'll do this within Unreal is you'll have one sample, and then for the first mask use the R channel, and then the G channel, and then the B channel. So that was just a quick demonstration. I'm just going to undo that because I need to see the black and white textures just for this part. So I'll just redo that in a second. So that's that. So for the first mask, because this isn't going to work, I need to get a bit more detail out of that. So I'm just going to use sorry, I don't want to use the levels. Sorry, which one is it now? It smells really nice. It wasn't levels, it wasn't exposure. Where's it gone? Why is it not here? Yeah, it was. What am I talking about? Sorry. So I'm going to increase the black, drop that down so I get a bit more white, and do something like this with a nice in between, not losing too much of the white. So we could loosen and tighten a bit like so. Now, because this is a 2K texture, just to make sure there's no tiling whatsoever on this mask, a good way to check is under the filters, you can do other, offset, This depends on the resolution. Now, because it's a 2K, I know that half and half is 1024 by 1024. So if I cancel, sorry, select the layer you want to offset first of all, that would help. So other than offset, and you can see that if I just do 0, 0, I didn't mean to press enter. I'll do that again. Offset. So if I'm dragging this, let's do half and half, so 1024. And the reason I'm doing this is because what this is going to do is this is going to push the texture straight to the middle. So the end seam, let me just, the end seam is being pushed right to the dead center, and the same with the top seam. So if there was any tiling, you'd see it. If I just apply, just so you could see maybe a pattern. No? These are all tiled, aren't they? So it's not, you're not going to get a good idea. But that's what it's doing. So I'm just pushing the texture to this dead center and just making sure there's no seams in the middle. So there isn't there, so I'm happy with that. I'm just going to undo it because this is where I want the texture. Clouds are seamless anyway, but I just do that to check. So we're just going to check how this is going to look. So there's some nice variation there, so I'm happy with that. Now if I go ahead and do what I just said, separate the RGB channels quickly. I'm just storing each texture in each channel individually. So I get it looks funny for now, but Unreal Engine will understand this. So this is how Substance Painter merges its textures also. It just stores them in the RGB channels individually. So there's 3 maps, 1 texture sample, so you can see the benefits. 2K I'm happy with. So we'll go ahead and save this out now in my, I've got quite a few hard drives. So in here, university, 3rd year, Viking settlement, if I can find it. Nope, industry, Jesus, major projects. So materials, masks, and then I'll call this grass mask, and then I'll just do RGB _1. So I know that's a grass mask, separate RGB _1. So yeah, that'll do for now. I say this is how you do it, and watch, I'll throw it in Unreal Engine, and I won't get the result I want, but this will work. So let's just plop this in here. I'm happy for this to live in the grass textures folder, because this is just to do with the grass. But if I open it and isolate now all of the channels, you can see I'm storing each mask in these separate channels. So it's just a really good way of yeah, it's just a good way of just storing 3 textures in one map, really. So the way I'm going to do this now is by, I wonder if you can do that with albedos and diffuse textures. Grass variation 1. So I've kept this because I'm going to just, this is just a good starting point now. Grass. There you go. Good starting point for what I'm about to do. So let's just create some space here. So I can copy this 3 times. These are going to be my 3 different channels. So what I'm going to do is create a lerp and a lerp. And what this is going to do is it's going to blend between them, getting its information from my alpha, which is that texture there. So I'm going to plug them two in. That's blending A and B, these two. I only needed 2 masks because I'm only doing, so this will work for all 3. So it doesn't matter, I've got a spare mask. So I'm using the alpha created in the red channel to blend them 2 together. And then to blend these 2 and this one together, using the separate mask, I'll go for the blue, just for the variation, doesn't matter, use any. So that's them 3 blended. You won't see it here, but using my alphas. So I'm happy for this to be controlled by 1 value. So grass, variation, mask, tile amount under grass material properties. Okay, so that's them 3 blended together. I'll use this 1 tiling node to tile all 3 of them. I will obviously change this now to my second material, grass variation 2, and this to grass variation 3. And I know I'm using 3 texture samples here, but it's okay. I'll explain why. So let's just grass variation 3. There it is. So even though I'm using 3 individual samples, I'm set the sample source to share wrap. So it's going to merge all of these samples sort of together. This is how Unreal is going to look at it from what I understand. So it's going to look at these as 1 sample rather than individual, because we're sharing the information sort of. So that's why I'm going to be within my texture sample limit, which I think is 16, and you're able to use 14. So let's just plug that in there anyway. So that's 1. You won't see it here. So decreasing is bigger, so 1 is smaller. Oh, there it is. So it won't show up here because obviously it's a texture plane. There's not enough surface area for you to be able to see what effect this is having. So that's okay. Repeat the same thing now for all of these maps basically. And I don't have to. I could just replace the roughness with a vector 3 and just use a static color to control the roughness rather than it being masked. I could do the same with the like I've done there. So, but I'm not going to. I like having the separate masks control them values. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just thinking, it doesn't matter. So let's just do the same thing here. So we'll center this, just so we know where it's coming from. Give that space, and then just give that space there as well. So V, so 2 of them. Lerp, plug them in there, ready. 3rd one in there, ready. B, A, plug this is the roughness value, and then we are going to be using alpha for the second one, so the blue channel, and red channel for the first one, so that's that. Same with this. Oh, sorry, change these now. So variation 2 roughness and variation 3 roughness. There it is. Same with this. So copy V, second, third. Blend in between that one and that one. So that's going to be A, B, A, B, and normal map. So that's them two. I'm going to try and clean this up a little bit. It's kind of hard when you're working with all these stringy nodes, so that'll do. Put that in the middle. That'll do. Put that in the middle. Blue channel is the bottom. Red channel is the top. Grass variation 2 normal, and then grass variation 3 normal. Done and done. And then just for the sakes, ambient occlusion isn't really doing anything for this, so just to save on having to do this again, and obviously just to help with the performance, I'm going to leave it at this. So I'm happy with that. But what I'm going to do, just to make it look a little bit cleaner, no, I'm happy with that. I'll leave it at that. So I'll just make sure this is housed in here. There you go. Same with this. There you go. So I'm happy with that now. I only need one tiling node, so I'll just do grass tile amount and grass variation. So that already is a lot more simple shader to compute, obviously. You've got obviously two different blends, but blending between using a mask with a lerp isn't hard for the computer to do. So really happy with that. So we'll have a look just quickly to see if we can obviously see where it's been applied, but I'll just change the brightness of the textures in here just to check it. So I'll just do, and then grass 2, where's grass variation 3? So you can already see where this is being applied. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down the tiling of that mask just to cover the surface area a little bit more. But it's not looking too bad at all. That let me just so we can see it a bit better, I've done this the opposite way around. So number 2, I'll do 0.5. There you go. Maybe a 0.1, 0.2. So you can see the 3 different textures now being applied over the landscape. There's more white than black. There's not much of this one being applied, so I could maybe mess around. Let's just quickly have a look at what would happen if we just plug that in there. See if that would apply any better. So we'll go ahead and save. Obviously expect that to compile. Oh no, I'm the only one watching my stream. It doesn't matter. I'm okay with that. That doesn't that's all right. I'm gonna swap them round actually. I did prefer the other one. I don't know why I'm apologising. It's my texture, but yeah, I'm gonna flip them round. So I'm happy with that. Let's just I keep saying let's just talk. Let's just do the tiling. Decrease it. So grass tile 0.4. Maybe I'll try 0.3. Grass mask amount 1. Whoa. So 0.05. So that's going to give us some nice variation. Try 0.02. Nope, I'm losing a bit too much. 0.03. That works for me quite nicely. Yeah, that's not so bad at all. I really like that. So let's just quickly, where am I up to? Let's just drop the tiling of the grass. We'll do 0.5. We don't want it too big, so that's quite nice. For some reason, that's this isn't having an effect on this. So specular is plugged in, so it's understanding that this has a specular value. I think what I need to do is in every individual map, I'm going to do this now quickly. This was my plan all along anyway, so I'm just going to get the roughness of each one, 1, 2, and 3. And then this is just a quick and simple way of obviously changing the value. I wouldn't recommend constantly doing this. Get it right the first time. 0.5, so let's see, that is, it's a lot more reflective, so let's try 2. Right, coolio, so 1.5. 1.75 might be a little bit better. 6.5. There you go. 165. So 1.65. 1.65. Happy, happy, happy. Good. Now let's change these values again. So 0.85. Where is it? Number 2. 0.85. And again, let me just actually, while I'm here, because I don't need 3.1, so I can get rid of them. 3-1-1. So which one? I'm not, am I? Cancel. Let's just have a look in here, just to make sure I'm not, because I shouldn't be. So grass 1. My mistake there, so I am. So there you go. Save that. And then now I can just go ahead and just delete any unwanted materials. So 3-1 all the way to here. Same with this. I've done a 4-1. This was just an experimental texture. So here, so get rid of them. So that, this one. So 0.85. Nice. So that's quite nice. Quite happy with that. There's something wrong here. I don't know. Is it with the global specular amount or? But there's way too shiny. I'm not quite sure what's happening with that. But so far, that's not bad at all. There's some nice variation now going on with the textures. As you can see, it's a lot more broken up. So let's just apply the grass and just see how this looks. Now this isn't my most, this isn't the final grass, this isn't the complete grass, so just bear that in mind. I know it doesn't look great. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly swap that out for the original grass just to get a better comparison of what I'm looking at. So we'll just find it now. It should be in here somewhere. So copy, paste. Wow, that looks really good. Paste. Oh, look at that. That's really nice. I'm not too sure what's happening here. Clearly must be an issue there. So what this is actually some grass I created in SpeedTree, which I'm actually going to use. It looks really nice. I didn't realize that in my what's happening here? So maybe let's just I can fix this. I know what's going on. So let's just do Shift 2. This is the good thing about procedurally generating the grass. So I'm just gonna tighten up that. Drop this. Now there's clearly an issue with these two materials merging together. So I'm guessing that if maybe I paint now the grass around here. We can maybe fill in some of that. There you go. I'm thinking, is this maybe it's a rendering issue? I don't quite understand what's happening Why is it? Why are these chunks not loading? So let's just shift 2. Let's just see what's happening. So I'm just gonna clear. Then I'm gonna shift 1. Just disable my grass. Just to quickly have a look what's going on. So there seems to be a strange issue here with the way it looks to be rendering. So import, let's just try this again. Okay. Enable grass. Okay, I've not had this issue before, this has just happened now. So maybe it's something I've done and I've not realized. But I'm noticing this weird, this issue here. So yeah, it's done the same thing. So it's only happening in that one corner. So this square, there's a square that seems to be not rendering over here. I'm not sure why this never happened before. So let's have a look in the master, see what's going on in here. My grass output is here. So I'm just gonna just delete that, and just have the one. I don't need any of these, so delete, delete, delete. So that's that. Grass 1, preview weights 0. That's grass 1. So just save that, see if a little bit of a compile will fix that issue. So it did. Okay, right, happy, really happy. Stuff like this, I can just, I'll fix and paint out. There's no big issue there. But wow, talk about dense grass, like I can't even see the floor. So, frame rate is poop. Easily fixable, easily. So, good thing about this, again, being procedural, is that I've got complete control over the densities, and it just happens real time. So I'm just going to quickly do a 40 on that one. So scale X is what? 0 and 0, really? Just try a 1 and a 2. 1 and a 3. Let's just do a 2. 1 and a 2. 1, 2. Nope. We'll do a 0.5 and we'll do a 1. So let's do the same. That's 60. We do not need that at 60. So we'll do a 40 or even a 30. Or even try 20. Have a look at. So 2, 3, 3.7, 1.5. So I'm happy with that. And that's a 40. Again, try 20. 5, 1, and just try 2 and a 2. So I'm not too fussed about this patchiness around here. That'll get sorted. But that's really nice. I like that a lot. So this one, I could do maybe try 50 on that one. So I'm happy with that. 60, I don't mind. It's not too bad. 40, not too bad. So if I click Alt P. So the frame rate has already increased quite a lot, so it's quite nice. What I can do is that's not bad. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It didn't look that nice before, but I didn't realise it was overlapping with the previous grass that I'd made also. So that's quite cool. Quite nice. It's sort of what I was after. Again, it's bare. This is the cool distance I've set. Forest, there will be trees, and the forest will block a lot of this. So, hey, that's really not so bad at all. I like that. Unfortunately, I don't have the speed tree file to this grass anymore because the electric went, and unfortunately, I lost that project. But let's just, what's going on? Sorry. Let's just quickly. Viewport performance is always poor. I'm not sure why. That's still quite bad. That's not normal, that. But I am going to play with the LODs, so let's just go into my foliage, which is in the content, foliage, grass. So I can get rid of grass, this one, I can get rid of this one, this, and this. So it's just them that I need and that, so. Yeah, I'm not interested in that, so that's good. So what was I going to do? Right, let's play with these values a little bit. So So I just want to tighten LOD 1 and 2. So let's have a look. 0, 1 and 2. I'm not happy with that. So what I'm going to do is, sorry, where is it? There you go. So it's 0.07, 0.5, and then number 2 is 0.00535. So triangle. Let's just reduce this maybe by 60. Much better. So that's 59. That's 2. And that's 340. That's a little bit too high for my liking. So let's just do a 30 and see what effect we get on that. So that's now 156. 200's my limit, so I'm going to push 40 for that one. Hey, 199, so that's good. And then LOD1 is, so let's just push this one down. 30. Too much. Let's try 40 again. 45. 55. So not a big effect. I'm losing a couple of planes, and I'm happy with that. So let's just Alt and P. So doing that already, you can see the performance has increased there. So that's nice, and you get a really nice wind effect with this one. So what I'm actually going to do is content. Let's just quickly just see what this would look like without. Sorry, lost my train of thought. So where is this? Let me just find this quickly. Materials, landscape, foliage. There you go. So just duplicate that so it's a backup. And then I know I'll keep that, but I'll deactivate the wind effects. That'll free up some performance. The same on, sorry, I'm just thinking, I just closed that off when I wanted it open. So back here. So just, we'll delete that. Keep that one. Keep that one. Fine with them. Fine with them. So there's no more grass I'm worried about now. That's good. So Alt P. That's already much better. Why is that colour? That's not right. It wasn't that colour before. So let's just find out why that is. I'm guessing it's the translucency. So let me just quickly go into my grass and have a look. Vertex, subsurface. LOD2 is 20. Okay. I don't know why. I must have made a mistake there. I don't mind that. That's not so bad. So, okay. Now, let's have a look at some more of presets. I do want to use some of this, so I like the look of that one. So custom, turn off auto compute. So I've got control. Luckily there's only 3, so try 0.3, 0.09, and maybe a 0.05. So let's just see. 1, 2. 2A, so that's not so bad. We'll reduce some of the resolution out of this now, so even if we did a 60, that should that's quite a good drop, so that's 180. 50. So 160. See if we can drop that down. There's no harm in dropping it as low as you possibly can until then you start obviously losing the detail. So LOD1, try 20, apply. A bit too much you see there, so we could do a 50. Get most of that back, still 100. So we've only dropped 40. So I'd go to 40 on that one. I'd consider that a beneficial amount. So that's there. So I will actually drop this. I don't want it to pop there, so I'll do 0.025 so we can get a bit more distance out of that. That's good enough for me. So we're going to just replicate them values now on this one. We'll do this one and this one. So same thing I'm doing here. Just going to unswitch auto compute. If I could remember, I did was it a 0.5? So 0.2, 0.09, 0.025. 0.2. We can take a bit of resolution out of this. So that's already at 50. Let's try 40. Even better, we can take more out, 30. So that's only 130 polys in that. That's good. Second LOD is 179. So whack a 50, 90. Not much of a change. And then the last one is done for us. So same with this. Luckily there's only 3 LODs per foliage instance, so that's good for me. 0.2. Straight away I'm just going to whack a 50 on that. So 46 for that one. 0.2. I'm happy with that. 0.09. We'll see what this one, where this one lands us. That's interference, so 0.25. So that's 40. So I'm going from no change at all. So we could drop this 70, 40, 30, 5. So that's good. Sometimes auto compute is on, it's just under LOD settings. Switch it off and then it'll unlock the screen size values. So if you're stuck with that being grayed out like this, that's the reason why. So 0.2, 0.09. Again, there's no specific you should use this value. It's just whatever works for you. You just set your own target distance really to what looks good and what works. So let's just take some out of this. I'm just going to go for 50, drop it in half and see what it does. I'll leave it at that. And then obviously this value needs to be set, so 0.025. So 86, 88, so it's actually going up. That was 0.2, 0.9, so we can drop this 70, don't want to be too drastic. Can be a bit more tighter than that. We'll go for the usual 50, 80, 50, 5. So that's done. I am ready to use. So which one was it? I forgot now. Great. I'll be able to tell. So 140, 80, 5. So this is 1. So number 5, and it was these 2. And was there this one also? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2 kindling weed. So what we can do now is 5, 4, 3, 2. We can go in materials, landscape, foliage, grass type. We can add this in. So let me just enable the grass. I'm just going to quickly take out some pieces that ain't doing nothing. So if we can reduce on rendering, then great. So this grass is already, I can tell, overbearing all of these weeds. So I'm just going to delete that, and delete that. I'm going to also go in here. I'm going to leave the ferns for now. Probably might not, I don't know if they'll get used, but these, you can't see them. So I'm just going to delete, and close that, and that one. Delete. These I like, so I'm keeping them. Increase the size values for more variation. So 1.2, 1.2. So that I'm happy with. You can already see the performance gains just from that. I'm back up to 60. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Straight off the bat, I'm going to crank that down to 20. The start call distance I'll set to 500, and the end call distance I'll have these fade out at 3000, and then will go ahead and plonk 2, 3, 4, 5. So was it 2? Yeah. Plonk that in. And just have a look where they're being placed. So they are tiny. So straight away, let's increase the size of them. And then to a maximum of, should we try a 3? See what that's going to do. So that's nice. I like them a lot. So I can copy them values, just paste them, sorry, in here, and just replace the mesh. So there you go. Paste, replace that mesh, and then paste, replace that mesh. So that's already they're quite nice. Them, I like them quite a lot. Too many. So the bigger ones, try a value of 10 and 10. See if that spreads them out a little bit more. Try 10 on them all. That's a 10. 10. Still too many, so let's just drop that. 5. 5. 5. 5. Much nicer, much better. So there's some nice different plants in here which I like. So that's good, very good. I did want to add some of these. So let's just get them open, and I'm hoping there's not too many. I'll only use 3 variations will do for now. Just hoping there's not too many LODs. So let's just, jeez, okay. Could we not just do that? 1, 2. Can you see the issue with sometimes using these straight off the bat? Sorry, let's just set these up. 0.5, 0.2. I've got a good idea of the values. 0.09, because I've done this so many times. And then we'll just do a 0.0987. And I'm sure, is that the last one? If that is, then 0.9, 0.7. For this one, we could do a 0.5. So let's just cycle them. 2, 3, 4, 5. So like 3,000 for this. You don't need 3,000 for that. So this is where you come in, or we come in, and just start cranking these down. So, and I'm gonna use these sparingly because of obviously that's a ridiculous poly count. So. I'm not going to use them. I'm going to opt out of using them. That's way too much. I could create my own using SpeedTree. So I've taken note of that one, and I'm just going to delete them. Yeah. These I didn't end up using, so delete them. I think the poly counts on these are going to be even more ridiculous. That's so much better. So let's just have a go at playing with these. So let's just unlock these values again by just turn off. Sorry, where is it? 2, 3. Here, auto compute. So 0.5, 0.2, 0.0. Let's just spread that one out a little bit more. 0.08 and then 0.05 will do for that. Or maybe not. Let's try 0.2. That's better, that's better. So we've got on LOD 0, 1,123. Can we half it? Did you notice a change? I didn't. So I get it, it's geometry, photogrammetry, so I can understand why. It would be great to use for VFX, but so anyway, so LOD 1 now, 800, so let's change that back down, let's try 30 again. So 400, whoops. $40. To nearly 2, and then 150, which is LOD 2, 25, apply. Even try 20. Do you know what? I'm not going to use them either. I can just make my own. So I can delete them. Delete them. Yeah, because you don't see them weeds. Keep them. Curbside weeds. These are quite nice, so I'll use a few of them now, just quickly. Hoping it's not. That's not so bad. Transition there. So just whack some of these out. 50. Didn't even budge. 30. What? 0.5. So test 138 LOD 1. 87, LOD 2, apply, 87, so we could just do a 40, which is 77, and then 6. So that's good. Remember them values. So I'm going to open up this one, do not fancy using that. So that'll do. I'll use them too. So same thing. Custom LEDs. 5, 2. $300. You can push that down. $100 is good for me. The reason I'm not, I'm just using this foliage because I don't have the time to create all the foliage in SpeedTree. So I'm gonna generate my trees all custom, all made by me. No packs, nothing used other than my own creations. But I just don't have the time to do that now. So to do all the foliage, sorry. So that's why I'm just using what I can out of this pack, this mega scans, and I'll create my own trees. So that point, let's get this done quickly because I'm hungry. A little bit of a headache today. The little one's been on a mad one for the past 2 days, so I'm a little bit burnt out with this teething. It's been really bad. But today's in a good mood, so can I complain? Absolutely not. So 234. We can drop that 50. See what we get. 180, 116. LOD2, so 116 was that value. 116, so 101. Not worth just saving 16, so we'll drop that by 10% more. There you go, 85. That's a good enough transition for me, and then into that. So this is var 12, 11. So 11, 12, 13. So we're going to keep that open just so we know. Foliage 11, 12, 13. So blank, one more. So I clicked it too quick. So this 10, I've learned my lesson from that. So 11, 12, 13. 11. I can't actually see any of them, so let's just do a 2 max. Whoa! Hello! Welcome to the party. So that's better. There was just a bit of an issue with them spawning clearly. So do a 2 and a 2. So there they are. So try 2 and a 3. That's a nice value. 200. Again, I want these to call out maybe about 2,500 into the distance. So just copy them, paste and paste. So that's that. So there's even more variation now, which is nice. I like them, they're quite nice. Just drop the size down. So let's go back into that foliage actor. Where's it gone? So that one I don't mind. It's this sticky up one. So let's just do 2 and 1.5. Oh, 1 and 2. And then there was also that one. So 1 and 2. Fudge it. We'll do it for this one as well. So 2 and 1. That's better. Just edit that material quickly just to darken it. And then I'm going to call it a day with the stream. I'm really happy with the way it went. I've got a lot done. Definitely got a lot done. So really happy. So let's just, this will be the last and final thing I do. Overlay. We'll drop that down and in the intensity. So that's nothing and that's on. Perfect effect. Really happy with that. I could take some of that out actually. That will work. I'm going to do the same with this. Why I'd need to mess around with that value. Normal intensity 1. Yeah, I'll leave that as is. I'll enable some wind. And then for them, just quickly before I wrap up, just because I want to see how it looks, I'm just going to increase. Let's get foliage. The density of these 3. So 20, 20, and 20. So I don't like that. Let's just, I do like it. It looks okay. It's quite nice. So far so good. I'm really happy with that. It looks really nice. Now in the next stream, I'm gonna be just working on this foliage a little bit more. I'm gonna create my own variation. Sorry, I'm gonna create my own. I'm not gonna say foliage. Let me just get it up just to show you quickly. But I don't have any examples. But I'm gonna create my own sort of flowers, you know, like you've seen before with the 2000 vertices. I'm going to recreate them game ready, because they're the sorts of plants that spawn in these sorts of fields in Iceland. I'm going to get rid of these ferns because they don't spawn, they're forests mainly, but just general weeds. So I'm really happy with this, and that grass looks awesome to me. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank anybody if you did watch or learn anything even better. But right, I'll Monday 12 o'clock will be the next stream, so I'll see everybody later.